We pick back up with Ruth chapter 1, and remember when we left off last time, we stopped at Ruth 1:8. Just a quick reminder of where we're at in the chapter. Ruth and her sister in law are wanting to go back to Judah with Naomi because Naomi heard that the Lord visited his people and the famine was over. Um, when we paused Ruth 1, we were in the middle of Naomi's plea with her daughters in law that they go back to their own homes and not to go back with her to Judah. And so we'll pick up at the beginning of Ruth 1:9, and we're going to stop at the first Zakaph. Yitain Adonai Lakim. May the Lord grant to you. So we have a verbal clause. Remember, verbal clauses, the verb must come first, and if there's a subject, it must follow the verb. If the subject precedes the verb, then you have a nominal clause. And just by way of reminder, there is a post on verbal and nominal clauses that you can go back and review. This verb in particular, we have a call. It's a jussive, and we'll talk about jussives in just a second. And it's third masculine singular, and the root is natan, to give. Just by way of morphology, you notice that the first root noon is not visible. What had happened is that the first noon, if you were to spell this out completely, that first noon would have been in a silent schwa position, so it assimilates into the tav, and that's what we have there, yatain. Now, you heard me say this is a jussive. Now, the jussive is part of a group of verb forms that are called volatives. Volatives show the volition, volition of the speaker. So like imperatives or commands, it's showing the will of the speaker commanding someone. Here, Naomi is saying, may the Lord give. So she is hoping and she's praying that the Lord will give to grant to her daughters-in-law that they may find peace in their homes. So showing the volition of the speaker. Oh, I pray that the Lord would grant. Please grant. May the Lord grant. And so this is a jussive. Now, a lot of times the form of the imperfect and the jussive, they're going to look identical. Hebrew used to distinguish these forms, but over time, the forms kind of dropped off, and the imperfect and the jussive now resemble each other. Just a real quick note, the jussives are primarily for the third persons, third masculine singular, third feminine singular, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes, especially with weak verbs, there is a difference in form between the imperfect and the jussive, but for the most part, context is going to have to tell you if you have a jussive. And we do have a jussive here. Jussives are often used in direct speech, which is what we have before us. Next, we have our subject, Adonai, or the Lord, Yahweh. And lastly, to complete this little section, we have a prepositional phrase, lakim, to you, or to y'all, if you will. It's the lamed preposition with the second masculine plural. It's plural. That's why I said y'all. So it's the lamed preposition with the suffix, the preposition meaning to. You notice that it is masculine, and Naomi is talking to women. And in previous videos, we've talked about the discrepancy between gender and sometimes number, and that in Semitic languages this is okay, and so there is no cause for consternation. And so this will conclude this video, and we're going to complete Naomi's statements in the next few videos.